Good morning, everyone. My name is Fary Khan. I'm standing here in Lisbon at our ISPRM meeting, and it's a huge privilege and honor to be here. With me are my two colleagues, Dr. Bhaskar Mathia on my left and Dr. Maria Paul on my right-hand side. These are two of my colleagues from Australia who've been unbelievably helpful in moving the ISPRM agenda forwards for disaster relief globally. At this stage, the DRC session this morning confirmed a number of new working groups to ensure that we deliver on the ISPRM agenda for education, capacity building, and training for developing countries where we have most disasters. We have had a lot to do with the Ukraine rehab physician community, with supporting them through education and training and online clinics and so forth. At this stage, we've also supported the Indian and the Bangladeshi populations and their respective PRM societies, as we have over 1.8 million internally displaced people because of floods and so forth. So ISPRM is very active in all of these activities, and I'm very grateful to all of my colleagues for providing support in the very busy clinical schedules. Importantly, the DRC has published a large amount of literature showing the relevance and importance of rehab medicine in looking after people with disabilities, those with pre-existing disabilities in particular, within disaster settings, whether they be floods or earthquakes or so forth. Just one example is that we've recently had an earthquake in Afghanistan just 2 weeks ago, where in fact we have hardly any data, and we just know close to 1,000 men have died, unfortunately, as victims in that earthquake. And we have no data on children or women, unfortunately. And we're very lucky that a large medical team from Pakistan, military with the GPs, are going to deploy there, as it is not an easy terrain to access. Similarly, we are supporting our colleagues, refugees in particular, in areas like South Sudan and Eritrea and Ethiopia, particularly those who are currently in Uganda, through different organizations with just advice and support, online resources, etc., to help with the care of the disabled persons. In addition, our focus this year has been on supporting the ISPRM online training for our new trainees, and especially the ISPRM youth and youngsters, and trying to recruit them into our different working groups so we have a bigger workforce and a capacity to deliver on the various agenda items highlighted by our presidential cabinet. Last but not the least, in Lisbon, we are very pleased we've had new elections, and I'm very pleased to announce the selection and endorsement of Dr. Farooq Rathore from Pakistan, who will take on the next chair of the DRC, and Dr. David Crandall from the USA, who will be our new vice chair, and Dr. Maria Paul, standing next to me from Adelaide, will be our new secretary. Last, Dr. Taslimuddin from Bangladesh will continue to take on the chores of the finance person to enable fundraising activity for the DRC. And I think one of the interesting news is that we have had the MOU approved between ISPRM and Sustain Our Abilities for climate change and the impact on disabled persons, and what the ISPRM can do to collaborate with other organizations in order for us to be able to be effective and helpful for these populations. And also, I'd like to mention that we have a number of international UN recognized funds that already work with disabled persons and those affected with different trauma, man-made as well as natural disasters, where we are going to forward the agenda to our PC, our presidential cabinet, to see whether we could go formally into memorandums of understanding with such organizations to be able to fund various activities that are currently underway under the ISPRM banner. Thank you very much.